Good evening, and welcome to the Thursday Night Throwdown.
Buenos nachos.
Buenos nachos. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm alive.
All right.
What?
Doing all right.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Hey, I sent. Do you mind? I sent the Bat Cave a link.
The who?
The Bat Cave, Donnie. He's way cool.
What's a bat cave?
It's just a show.
Donnie.
Oh, okay, okay.
The streamer here on Foxhole called the Bat Cave.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Sean and Nan, thank you for the raid. Welcome to all of Sean and Nan's people over there. Appreciate it.
Right.
What's up, Jim Bob? So, Mr. Spaz, how you doing today?
Better than yesterday, that's for sure.
Good, good. I'm glad. The heat can get to you.
Yes.
It's a
My
thing.
dad's been reminding me. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take care of yourself when you're out there. Get one of them big old sombrero hats. That's what all the guys that work on my house or, that do my lawn, doesn't matter what time of year it is, they're always wearing those big hats because the sun will definitely get to you.
Them Chinese people with them big pointed dome hats that they wear?
Oh,
They
yeah.
actually have straps, so it straps right to their head. So when they're bending over everything, it don't matter. But that
That's
thing's
right.
as wide as the good ones are as wide as a sombrero too, but they're
Yeah.
strapped on. So
Yeah, we make fun of people wearing those kind of hats, but it's actually protecting the top of their head and the back of their neck, and it's keeping them from.
if you put a little curtain around it, all the way around the edge, you got your own changing room too.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, and if you put a hose up to it, it's like a shower.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
For those who know what a shower is,
Right. Exactly.
can't assume somebody's shower nouns.
That we don't want to do that. Definitely. Good Lord, Mr. Nuts, how's it going?
Pretty good there, Pete.
There's a
How
bat
are
cave.
you?
Okay, I'm doing okay.
Oh yeah.
I actually I slept pretty good last night, and I slept pretty good last night, so I was happy about that. Of being up for a day and a half, but anyway, and of course, Mr. Reverend Rant, what's going on?
Another day in the life and times of being me. You
Yeah.
know, I want to say for the few people that have been following this little drama that I've had going on, for somebody who talks so much trash, he's sure fighting hard to get out of it. That's all I'm going to
sorry.
say.
I'll do better.
Yeah, not you. Not you, but oh man, he is trying to wiggle right the hell out of this. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to say that. And all of a sudden now he's quiet and his attorney's trying to get every dirty trick in the book to get it dismissed. But you know what? It's not going to work.
Oh, well, what can you do? Just have fun with it.
He can shut up and pay up. That's what he can do.
Well, yeah, there you go. So, there is so much that's going on right now.
Mhm. Straight up.
I don't even know where I can start. I mean, the conversation is can go in politically, can go in 100 different directions, and we can never miss.
You know where I don't want you to start, right?
So,
What?
You know where I don't want you to start, right?
Well, we're not going to start there, of course. No.
Thank God.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about something local. Local stuff that's going on.
Around your area?
I mean, domestic stuff.
Oh,
Domestic stuff that's going on. Like I saw the interview that Nancy Pelosi did talking about J.D. Vance's military service, and that poor lady was drunk. She was drunk beyond anything I've ever seen. She was slurring and
she is how old, right?
and she's 82.
Wow.
Yeah, she's 82
Well,
years old. Hey,
at
thank
one
you
point-
for the can.
at
Greetings
one point,
from DC.
Trump said that alcoholism was a disease that we need to control in America,
Yep.
and Pelosi took that as a personal attack.
I guess she did because
She's the biggest investor in Smirnoff.
she the last couple of interviews that she did was not very. I don't know what's going on with the Batcave here.
I'm here, guys, but I don't know why my camera's not on.
You see the
Turn-
settings down at the bottom, little
Turn
cog
on
at the
your
bottom of this window.
Hey, one hot tamale.
virtual camera.
So Batcave. First off, down at the very bottom of this web browser tab.
There it goes.
There's a Batcave.
All right, I see. Let me see.
Oh, he's streaming us all on the panel. Yeah, turn off your virtual camera. There you are. Well,
Okay.
that's better.
All right.
Anyway.
Hit it with a hammer, man. Hit it with a hammer. That'll fix it.
That's my only solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pick something up and hit it.
It's the bigger hammer repair company. If it doesn't work, we'll get a bigger hammer.
That's right.
This is Donnie of the Batcave. Really good dude.
I remember you.
Yep. I used to come on your show as the Dark Knight 007. That was me.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
What's happening, brother?
How the hell are you, man? Nice to see you.
Yes,
So-
see you.
So what I'm going to do is, since there is so much going on, I'm going to let you guys, whoever wants to pick a subject and talk about it. Okay, Reverend Rand, go ahead.
Jews. No, just kidding.
No Jews. Don't want to talk about it.
Tim, the tampon man Walls.
There you go.
Solar Valor King.
That
Someone-
is a real thing.
I want to make sure that it goes around. This guy wanted to put tampons in the boys' restroom, and you know what? He should never live that down. But I will tell you, I will stand in his defense because there are two reasons for men to use tampons. There are two legitimate reasons, and I think everybody should be aware of this. So one, of course, especially, me having the life experience that I have, sometimes you keep tampons around because they plug bullet wounds really well. So
That was the original design. By the way.
if you live in California, especially, or like me, you live in Florida, then then you're apt to keep a couple tampons in your medic kit.
I keep them in my emergency kit.
So the other thing is, the other one is that if you are or know anybody that is an electrician,
I beach bum and mermaid.
yeah, tampons are amazing. You know, electricians, you know, they have these big long runs of conduit pipe they put together. They got to get a string in it so that they can pull the wire back through that they're going to put in the pipe. So a lot of times what we would do is we would use a tampon, tie it to a long, you know, what we call a fish string, and put a shop vac on the other end and
suck it right through.
Suck that baby through just like my ex-wife did.
That's right.
And those are the only really two best excuses I can think of for a guy to use a tampon. If there's any guys out there, you're sticking tampons in your buttholes, none of us want to know about it. You need to keep that shit to yourself. And if you're sticking
really
a
not
tampon
leaving
in
me
your
much else to talk
vagina,
about
you're
then.
not a man.
Very true.
He's really fucking me. He's not leaving me much left to talk about.
I know. I'm sorry, man. I can't help it. It's just I've been so dialed in. I'll tell you what, I'll give you another topic. How about this? Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
You don't know about Dunkin' Donuts?
Oh, boycott Dunkin' Donuts. Yes,
What happened to Dunkin' Donuts?
Dunkin' Donuts is Bud Light now.
they're going woke.
Really?
Yeah,
Bud
they
Light Ford Target version. Yeah.
They don't
They
want
bought
any.
the company?
They don't want any
no.
of their advertising on platforms that have, you know, Trump.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
They're also
Wow.
they were trying to spend money. They were trying to bribe people to participate in censoring conservatives. They come out and went full, you know, like pedophile leftists like Tim Walz. And by the way, you guys should know about that too. Tim Walz is pro pedophile. He refused to take any protections against pedophile out of Wisconsin's bills as they were coming through. And there was one where he wanted to add pedophilia as an identity.
Yeah, that's
An
that plus
identity.
again.
Yeah, all this bullshit sexual identity garbage that they're doing. Oh yeah, oh my God, pedophilia is just an identity. You know what? Shooting people in the forehead is just an identity too, right? So I mean,
Can't argue with that.
if we get to just choose
I mean,
what
really.
we identify as, then hey, I'm a cordless hole puncher.
I'm gonna
I'll
put on a
take
pointy hat and
karma
be a
over
bullet.
here. I'll just be karma.
Yeah.
That's the best one yet, right there. I want to be Karma when I grow up.
Hey guys, you know,
Wait.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, Salty Nuts is gonna have to put on a dress if he's gonna be Karma, because Karma's
right.
a bitch.
Karma's a bitch. Go ahead, Mr. Batcave.
Hey,
I
so
got one.
I heard today, man, somebody else went woke, and I kind of shook my head when I heard it, but they said that Harley Davidson went woke.
Before
Oh, yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
really?
Wow.
Mhm.
I couldn't believe that one. Like,
That's gonna fucking cost them.
yeah.
Oh, they want to get they want to get all of those youngsters because
Yeah.
nobody's buying Harleys anymore because they're too damn expensive. Number one, and then number two, that the people who want Harleys, they don't want the new stuff; they want the older stuff.
Correct.
There's
Because it
nobody
was better.
woke that wants a Harley. I'm just being honest with you.
What's that? What'd you say?
There's nobody that's woke that wants that's
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Harley
So there-
Davidson had the brand just like Bud Light used to have, like Budweiser used to have.
Yep.
You know, Budweiser used to be the king of beers, the symbol of America, all that stuff, and all their advertising. Harley Davidson was the same way. The majority of the biker community are veterans, and even a bunch of them I know are active military right now, and
Thank you.
also ride in motorcycle clubs. And many of the motorcycle clubs out there are veteran oriented. And so for them to do that, that's the dumbest damn shit they could ever do. They just handed all of their business over to Indian.
Yeah, and you know
They did.
the whole motorcycle culture came
Yeah.
out of World War II.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, they supplied hundreds of thousands of motorcycles in the European theater. And when those guys came home, they were looking for that thrill ride. And that's what made Harley
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
And they're turning around and doing this. It's a damn shame. And like you said, Indian, or there's another American company. I think it's Buell, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, but Indian is the only one that on their motor size is measured in cubic inches, and that's
Right.
one of the things. That's one of the things that everybody stands out about is if you have a motor that's measured in cc, we don't give a shit where it's made. It's a jet bike. If
True.
it's measured in cubic inches, like Indian or Harley.
But I think Buell is an American company.
Well, Kawasaki is an American company too. Most people don't know
Yeah,
that.
not really.
Kawasaki's are made in Nebraska.
Yeah, okay, but it's a Kawasaki.
Well, I know, but I'm saying that they're not measured in cubic inches. Indian is measured
Born
in
to
cubic
be
inches.
wild. There you go.
Yeah, Indians and Indian, even though Indian is owned by Can-Am now, most people don't know that. They still have. I mean, you had Indian and Harley Davidson. They're the two oldest, motorcycle Americana names in the history of the United States. And Harley Davidson just whipped theirs out, laid it on the ground, and stomped right on it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
welcome to
don't
the
know.
world of Indian, baby.
I think they, whoever is in their marketing department or sales is
retarded.
fired because whoever they are, they're probably woke and were probably in the closet about it and thought that maybe, hey, you know what? If we, pander to these people over here, maybe we can get more sales. And
Yeah.
they didn't look at what happened with Budweiser because Budweiser,
I think they took the shekels.
yeah,
Well,
How about designing a better bike?
that's the thing
like,
is
rattle
you know-
off.
you know what? You know what made Harley the number one American bike? I mean, it wasn't just that they came out of World War II. It was the fact that you could rebuild anything on a Harley motor on the side of the road
Yeah.
with most anything that you could find on the side of the road. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
correct.
Like you didn't need an electrical system on the bike for it to work. It would run if you could kick it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the thing about Harley was
Oh, I don't know.
everybody had these what they called the rat bikes. They were beat up and
Wow.
and 90% homemade. Somebody twisted together in their backyard, and that was the big thing. You could take Harley and do anything with them, and now they've turned into this, this assembly line, high-end bike like any other Jap bike or anything else. You can't work on them. They're so computerized that even the people that know how to work on them have a hard time dealing with it.
Yeah.
And
Plug and play.
and that's the biggest reason their sales went downhill is because it's not the all-around American utility bike. It's not the bar hopper and the screamer that it used to be. You can't run them in the mud and keep going like you used to.
And plus, they cost $30,000 now.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other reasons for that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, making a decent product and selling it, and sometimes you see it all the time. Now we want to roboticize. Now we want to take the pride out of it because it's just run by machines anyway.
The early
you got a
90s,
defect. Oh, we didn't know.
the early
whatever.
90s was the last of Harley Davidson's.
You know what? The best cars were made in the later part of the 90s.
Yep.
They just were built better. And then 2000s, all these EPA regulations, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was talking about a business, how you run a business. And I'm just like, one of your most prominent expenses in a business is paying your employees. And that's why it's all sought after all the time to get rid of it. If we can marginalize that, if we could shave it down, just like the P in Bill Gates' freaking mathematical equation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If we could just do this, things will be better. And they forget that we used to have places where, you knew their name, and their name was, good all around. What they sold you, what they did, what they repaired, how they treated you at the door, how they knew your name. It's just
Hey, Pete, anybody
don't
ever
have that
find out
anymore.
who that country singer's name was that performed in front of a CGI crowd to make Kamala Harris look like she had some people that wanted to see her?
Egan the Stallion, the chick, or I didn't watch it all.
Some country singer.
Oh, country.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know who that
Yeah,
was.
they ran like a heat infrared for the background, and it was all CGI. It was just
So-
the singer up there.
She should have just put Tupac up there or something.
Smokey Randy, that comment that you made, you said that Harley never made a good product. It wasn't about the product. It was about being an American icon.
Yeah.
It was about Americans doing American stuff. And whether it was underpowered or whatever, you owned a Harley,
Yeah.
period. That was a status symbol.
Yeah.
So that's what it was about. It wasn't really about power or performance. Because if anybody has ever ridden a Harley, an older Harley, you know there's no power and it scares the shit out of you. So
Yeah.
it's a whole different ball game when you want to come
Yeah.
to performance, or you want to come to what's American. That's American.
Yeah, it used to be that the Harley was all about the ride. It was all about the
Yeah.
cruise. It was the same thing when I started in the club life back in the day when I was still, living such a life. It was about brotherhood. It was about, we would take a trip across the state. It might take us a month to get there because
Everybody's breaking down.
No, because we would take our time. We would stop here. We would stop there. And yes, if
Yeah.
somebody broke down, all of us stopped and dealt with it. We didn't leave anybody behind. It was the whole culture of, brotherhood and family and people that were just as disjointed as you, that you could, make a group out of and enjoy your camaraderie and all of that. It wasn't
Yeah.
about doing 200 mile an hour here and 200 mile an hour there. And even now, I still know a lot of people in the club life, up and down, as predominantly the East Coast. And I'm still, with all this 200 mile an hour garbage, everybody thinks they got to be in a rush somewhere, and
Hell
everybody's
no.
drunk or high now in the club life. And you know what? I'm hearing about just funeral after funeral after funeral after funeral. And
Driving
I
to
don't
LA.
want to be part of it anymore.
Driving to LA those 2 times a week that I go,
Yeah.
the people that we see doing the lane splitting
Yeah.
on the freeway with these big ass loud bikes,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden 15 minutes later you're stopped in traffic and you're easing along and somebody got slammed in the carpool lane.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. The
Yeah.
last time that I drove my Harley that I had on the freeway, I didn't go past 50 miles an hour because the front end was shaking. Scared the shit out of me. That was a long time ago. But these guys nowadays, they're killing each other out there.
I
They're
got
killing
a,
themselves.
lane
I got a
splitting
Fat
is
Boy
not-
drag bike.
not right.
This thing's set up as a drag bike. It's got a 124 cubic inch motor in it, aftermarket motor, S&S.
Yeah.
And I mean, this thing is high compression. When those pistons hit, you feel it. You feel it in your taint. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you
Yeah.
feel it. But you know what? When I ride that bike, it's still low and slow. I enjoy that I have the power when I need it. If I have to get out of the way of somebody quick, I have the torque to do it.
So you're not lane splitting, right?
Oh, got it. Well, one, let's be real. I live
Or
out in the
riding
middle
up on the
of
side
nowhere.
of the road.
The only lane splitting that I do is if there's 2 gators on the road at the same time.
There you go.
And I have had that
I'm
happen,
not
by
even
the
gonna
way.
lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I've had many Japanese bikes, rice rockets, crotch
Yeah.
rockets. I've had a Honda Matic
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember those. One gear down.
Yeah.
Honda Matics, that's it. But there's nothing like throwing your leg over an old ratty ass Harley and just cruising. There's nothing like it.
I still have I have an anniversary edition Milwaukee 88 full dress electric glide. I drove it to work today.
Oh wow.
But I won't buy a new one. I have my electric glide and I have my drag bike and I ride them both. But I like my electric glide because it's an easy, comfortable ride, but I won't ever buy a new one.
I got another question that might deter us from talking about Harleys.
Oh, we're done talking about.
I wasn't done talking about Harleys.
Oh,
I'll wait my turn then.
Are there Jews involved in Harleys? Is that where we're going?
Jesus, man, come on. Is there rust involved?
Fuck you, Rev.
Rust involved.
Jason said, I always wanted to try a Ducati. A Ducati to me is the same thing as a Honda,
Yeah.
except with a little higher compression ratio. That's about it.
Right.
And I never owned one, but I borrowed one once, and it's a nice bike, trust me. But it depends on what you get. You know, if you get like the Multistrada or something like that, it's a nice cruising bike. Or you can get the ones that go 900 miles an hour.
And by the way, that's what Buell is. Buell was one of the Harley designers, walked away from Harley and made his own bike.
Exactly.
And so
Thank you,
Buell is the V-twin, you know, like the Harley design V-twin. Well, similar. There's a couple differences. But taking that V-twin and turning that into, you know, like Rice Rocket style bike. Like
yes,
you get that American ground pounder thump that everybody loves, but you also get 220 mile an hour with it.
Exactly.
And I kind of concur with what you're saying, Pete. It's more the experience, the Americana type of thing about it.
Yeah.
You know, I've never owned a Harley. My dad has owned Sportsters and stuff like that. But when I hear Harley, I think of, you know, James Dean. I think of Coke floats. I think of girls on the back of your bike, and then rock and roll. You know, that's what it's more the experience, the American experience. Just like what you were saying. That's what I think of it when I hear about Harleys.
And then you turn your head, you look at the motorcycle, and you see an Asian gal riding it.
Well, I was just gonna say, in China, not China, but in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Vietnam, there's an entire culture of custom bike makers that want that American experience.
Yeah.
And they build Harley bikes and with the big old 131 engines, all that stuff.
Yeah,
and they have this big old culture in Asian countries.
Hardtails, rat bikes,
rat
choppers,
bikes,
baggers, whatever you want, man. They're into all of
bangers.
it.
Yeah.
If I seen one guy had apes so tall his arms were full extension above his head to steer his bike. It's like,
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree with
most
Smokey
people don't
Randy.
know this, but the real theory behind the tall handlebars was supposed to be to put your arms up so that they were level. So you were just resting your arms.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to be way up here. Everybody kind of got a little crazy in the 70s about that.
But we're Americans. We have to do things
we got
over the
to
top.
take everything to the extreme. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Everything.
You know what it is? We have to do everything wrong before we'll do the right thing.
you know, in those Asian countries, those type of motorcycles, the Harleys or anything over, what is it, 50 cc's, 60 cc's, whatever it is, they have to have a special license over there to get those, to even ride them.
Oh, yeah.
You're not cheap either.
Yeah.
Because they're too big to fit on the road.
Some of those bikes that they build are horrendously expensive because they have to import parts from here, just like we have to import all the foreign parts from there.
Yeah.
And most of the motors they're using is like S&S. And if you're
Yeah.
buying a Harley motor through S&S, you're going to pay about twice what you're going to pay for OEM.
That's right.
Got time for my question?
Okay, what's your friggin' question?
Hi. It's a Kamala curiosity. I need to be straightened out on the exactoids of what is the qualifications to become, what are the citizenship requirements to become vice president, and how are they different from becoming president?
Ooh.
They shouldn't be different from.
They're not different.
They're not
No.
entirely the same. The same restrictions and qualifications
Yeah.
must be met for either seat.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, then my next question would be, how did we get here?
Because the 14th Amendment has
What's
not
that?
been adhered to constitutionally. Somewhere back in the 50s or 60s, people started interpreting the 14th Amendment as if you're born on this soil, you're a citizen. And that's not the case. Your parents have to be naturalized citizens
Right. Since we're
in order
so
for you to be
closely
a citizen.
to the law when it
It's-
comes to
called-
presidential elections, I'm still asking. How
Hey,
did
Disco
we
Daffin.
advance?
It's called jus sanguinis.
Yeah,
The
that's
law,
right.
The law of blood.
Oh,
'Cause
Mrs. BTP's here.
We let it happen.
But since both of her parents were foreigners when she was born
She's
here,
not legally an American citizen.
therefore
Even though she
can't
was
be-
born in Oakland, she's still not a legal citizen because
Right.
neither one of her parents were naturalized citizens of the United States.
So her status is was and will be, if president, completely illegal.
Same as Barack Obama.
Exactly.
Right, but he
While
he
they're
tried to
saying
lie
they're
and
going
hide
to
it.
tell Trump he's not qualified.
He tried to claim that he was,
That-
she's just right out
So-
there in the wind going, yeah,
That would
that's
be
that's
Virginia.
right. My parents are foreigners and I'm an anchor baby.
That doesn't qualify you as being an anchor baby because you're not even legally an American citizen.
No, I
I-
know. That's what I'm saying. Is she is the epitome of an anchor baby, and whereas Barack Obama at least tried to lie about it. Go ahead, Spaz, or are you just waving hi at me?
I'm waving hi at you too, sir. I love you being here. Anyway, yeah, just one question. Who enforces
Oh,
the
thank you, Mermaid.
Constitution?
Who enforces? Right? Yeah, it's supposed to be us.
No. The people who enforce the Constitution is supposed to be the government.
Yeah, Congress.
Congress is supposed to enforce it.
I thought he was kind of implying to, should that fail, then who?
No.
So I got
Well, actually, in a way, it's supposed to be like they're supposed to enforce it, but then push it over to the judicial system to where actual enforcement
and the
actually
Supreme
happens.
Court's supposed to be the decision maker.
Correct.
So,
All right, so I got-
is everybody going to play blind to this anchor baby thingy, or are we just going to Barack Obama?
No,
this
we're gonna
one?
we're gonna
Run
we're gonna
right
have
through
civil
it.
war. We're gonna have civil war.
We're going to what?
We're gonna have civil war.
You think
So
we have
let
to?
me give you my reasoning. Because on the one hand, they're going to say, "Oh my God, we decided, if we get Trump in, they're going to say, well, we decided he's not qualified because he's an erectionist. He caused an erection, so we have to disqualify him." And then we're going to
That's the
say,
case.
"Well,
He's a several erectionist.
I know, but
Yeah,
then we're
Where
going to
she's
say, well,
definitely- she's
well,
not an erection.
Cackles Harris isn't a legal citizen either, so we can't have her either." But here's something else to think about as well. Tim the Tampon Waltz, Mr. Tampon Man himself. First of all, aside from all of his direct issues with stolen valor and being a lying piece of shit, does anybody know that during Bush he participated in an anti-war protest?
Probably.
Does anybody know what happens to people in the military with security clearance who participate in protests?
No.
they lose their security clearance. If you don't have security clearance, if you can't have security clearance, how can you be vice president and or president? You have to be qualified for president. No security clearance, can't do it.
Well, I think that for the past like 4 years, everything is out the window. They don't give a shit about nothing.
That's what I was getting at during the fog of war. We're just gonna let that shit slide.
But that's been my point. Don't let it.
Other rules.
Everybody needs to get louder. That's what I've been preaching all along. I've been beating the drum. We need to get our voices together. We need to be unified. And even more so, all of the people that are starting to wake up on the left, the people are a little more liberal and a little less retard that are starting to wake up and realize that all of this is asinine. We need to welcome those people, not continue to attack them.
I've been saying that for years.
Right. So, but here's the thing is that as we're welcoming those people, we got to say, look, this is an issue of right and wrong, not right and left. And it's time we start getting loud as Americans, not as this group or that group or whatever fucking subgroup. Pardon my language, but this stuff just flames me up, grinds my gears. We're Americans. We are brothers and sisters together in this nation and before God. All this little subdivision garbage is garbage. It's all BS. It doesn't belong. And as long as we can start getting everybody to understand that, we can stand up and get loud, then exactly all of this stuff we're talking about, we can have an effect on. If we don't pull together and start getting loud about it, we will have no effect and they won't care. Why should they care if nobody's going to enforce it?
But how?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Spaz. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying we need more cowbell. The back cave ain't here. He's not here all the time, and
That's true.
You know, in all the other
I'm willing
countries,
to give up some of my time to hear him talk.
you know, in all these other countries where the woke is taken over, per citizen, they've got like 0.3 to 0.35 guns, and here in America, we have like 1.42 guns per citizen. So I think it's still, unless we get hit directly by this next bit of fuckery that's breaking down with China or Russia and Iran and all that shit, unless we get hit directly, which I don't see happening, then we got a long battle to hold on to that 2A. Because look at how fast all the other ones have fallen. It's just a few short years and they've gone full blown cuckery out there. And I think we'll definitely be able to put up a bit of a fight.
The way that I see it is that I believe that what Reverend Grant said, being unified would be the optimal thing to do.
Yep.
Everybody be Americans. But you can't do that when the people who we supposedly elect keep trying to tear us apart. And that's the way it's been for a couple of decades now.
Stop electing them.
There's
Pro
there's
tip.
no way that our government is working cohesively with the American people, because the more strife, the better their re-election chances are. Because I can fix it. And it's never going to change. We have to, like he said, one cohesive voice and get louder and louder.
Yeah, I think that in a sense, I don't know if we're beyond the point of return. Just like Rev was saying that we're going to reach a pinnacle, and that pinnacle probably will be maybe January when they try to put Trump in there and, go through the votes and whatnot, and then try to deem that he's not eligible. But there's been a progression from, and I think it's obviously been in the last like 3.5 years, where they're pitting gays against, straights and trans against this and everybody, blacks and then whites and then Jewish, and they're putting it all in the bucket and they're just stirring it all up. And eventually it's like, okay, it's either what you were saying, Pete. We all come together as Americans and be Americans, or we're all going to be fighting against each other. At least the people that are not in the know, and that pinnacle is going to be probably when, if Trump wins, because they're already talking about it, like Raskin and stuff. They're already talking about civil war, and this is what we're going to do with the 14th Amendment, and because they already know that Kamala is going to be trounced. She is basically the scapegoat right now because Biden just got, they just pull a coup on him. So she is just a scapegoat. And by her picking Walz, that only enforces that. So I think that it's either, yes, we either come together as Americans to be Americans, to do American shit, or we're going to suffer.
And what I think is really funny is that most of the Democrats are saying that Tim Walz is very popular in Minnesota. He's very, very popular. His policies are very popular. Yet when they interview people, they can't stand the guy.
Are they just interviewing the people at Starbucks over there?
I have no idea.
Or right at the college.
That's what I mean by the divide, right? That's our divide. They're just basically installing who they want, and then they just lie their way through it.
Anybody that comes out of the unisex bathroom, hey, who you voting for?
Yeah. The all gender bathroom.
And none of it. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm sure many of you have worked for a company where they do all kinds of crazy shit and everybody keeps grumbling, but they keep showing up to work every day.
Yeah.
That's what's going on in the United States. They're going to keep doing crazy shit as long as all we do is grumble. They don't care that we grumble. They don't care that we get on here and bitch and gripe about it. They don't care. That it has no effect on them. It means nothing.
Bread and circuses.
You see what I'm saying? When we quit playing along, when we stop playing the game, then it has an effect. When we pull together, it has an effect. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, what they're doing when they pit all these cultural extremes against each other, that's called the Hegelian dialectic. What they're doing is they get everybody, they break down, as many small subdivisions as they can fighting against each other. They destroy us into petty tribalism. And then they come in one by one and they say, hey, we can fix all of this. We will bring back that domestic tranquility that you love so much. As long as you're just willing to sign your rights over. If you just sign your rights over, we won't abuse them. We promise. Just sign your rights over, sign away all of your freedom, and let us have control. And we'll use our authority to make everything the utopia that we've been promising you it was. Except we gotta give you a little bit less and kill off like half the people. But we're gonna make it a beautiful place. I swear. That's the game they're playing.
By your consent.
Just sign over everything. We won't mess with it. I promise.
Salty was asking earlier, how do we get here?
And not your house. We already own that.
By our consent.
Yeah. Even if you think you own it, you don't own it.
Yeah. That's the truth.
Bridge? Yeah.
Okay.
You're renting it. You buy the right to rent your house. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing.
We're paying interest.
Yeah, you're paying interest, taxes. If you don't take if your house is paid off and if you still don't pay your taxes, they can still take it.
Of course.
Yep.
Or they could take it by eminent domain as well.
Yep.
So there's really no way. I did hear that, like, if you had the title to your house or even your car, there is a certain type of title that you have to literally go out and get. I forgot what it's called. I think Salt, me and you talked about this before, right?
Yeah. What is it called?
Oh my God.
Yes, it's a certain kind of title.
It's a certain kind of title where
that
they
allows
cannot
you,
take it.
Not even if you're a king or a god or anything. Nobody can take it from you.
You can take it. And you know what? That is something that, and I remember too, when OJ did the shit that he did or whatnot, and then they tried to go after all his shit and they couldn't take some of his shit. That's because he had this title, and they couldn't get their hands on it. There's
Yeah.
nothing they could do.
There's also a different level of protection if you bury your property in a corporation too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing that people are doing. They put everything in an LLC, and they can't touch it.
If you go to S corp, your taxes are different, and there's a cap on how much they can tax you.
It's almost like a firewall.
The
Yeah.
S corp is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Unchained over in my pill chat says it's called an alloidial title.
Yes, allodial. That's it. Exactly.
Alloidial.
Ideal.
Try to say that 3 times fast.
No,
Yes,
I
with
don't
a
want to.
Jewish
I don't care
accent.
how you say it. How do you acquire one?
You got to know a guy who knows a guy whose sister's cousin's friend's uncle's friend's cousin knows a guy who can
drives
get a
a
bag
Harley.
of that green stuff from another guy who can trade it for the other thing from the other guy. And then if you got an extra $50, they might show you where to get it from.
And,
Now-
And then you can
and
get your car smogged by
Yeah.
the same
and-
guy.
that guy's going to suck your blood a little bit, but not too much.
Now, what I do know about the allodial titles is like, for at least 2 items, I do know. If you want the allodial title from your car, you have to get it from the manufacturer of the dealership or whoever made the car. So if you got a Chevy, you got to call Chevy to get it. Your house, you have to go through the state, and that might pose a problem because even the people that are in front, which is basically the firewall, they know nothing about it. You got to go beyond them to get to it. So, yep, allodial title.
You guys been keeping an eye on the UK riots? Anybody?
It's very interesting what's going on over there and how the police are acting and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I talked about that this morning for a little bit.
Yeah, I've been watching lots of stuff on it, and
Yeah. Well,
they're not going to win this one. The
they
UK
don't have guns.
That's right. Yeah, because of that right there, they're not going to.
They got cameras. Cameras
I've
are not
watched
guns.
A few of the interviews, and on two different ones, they had really good ideas on what to do. And one gal was like, "Well, we need to do what these Muslims are doing. They've picked their area. They're dealing with their laws. They're raising their family. They're breeding their kids, and we need to leave that area alone and claim our own little area and start building that up and protecting it and outbreed them. That's the only way, because you're not going to get them out. They've tried that. It didn't work multiple different times. That send them back theory is just that. It's a theory and a bad one. And then this other guy, he's like, well, we've got to hold the enforcers accountable in a physical way. And, you know, if a cop comes on you to drag you in for something you reposted on Twitter, and now he's getting ready to cart you off to jail, well, your neighbors have to support you on making sure that cop doesn't do that. That's the type of action that, you know, the two different ideas on how to move forward. And I'll go with the first one, the nonviolent, you know, get in an area, guard it well, appoint somebody to be, you know, guard duty, you know, build your own little teeny military. Don't act cocky, grow food, you know, school your children, have babies, and people will flock to you that want to run away from the other places. It's just natural segregation. And I think that would be, if possible, but that would probably be the only way. And we might want to consider start doing that here. Even though we have all these guns, we are not united. And I think that is a good way to unite. Because if you live 100 miles away from me, and by the time I get off the horn with you, you're convinced that your life would be way better where I'm at because of the people I have supporting me in my area, then I just added you to the pot of people supporting me in my area.
Thank you, Mermaid. Okay. I'll be back in a second.
I think it'll get a lot worse before we hit that point.
It has to.
We're still, on the couch and, flipping. We're swiping left, swiping right, clicking, we're still at that phase. And it's not bad enough yet.
So
Here.
I'm still spending all my free time in the courthouse.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of ill-informed right now. Like, so over in the UK, they're rioting over the illegals or whatever that are over there.
Who's rioting? Is the question.
The UK,
The rioters.
the British citizens are fed up with being overrun by machete-wielding Islam extremists over there, thinking, because they've given them, they rolled out the red carpet for them. They got all their medical, the school, the free this, the free that. And the only thing that's booming out there right now is construction to build new homes for these people. And, so you either hop on the bandwagon and build them their homes for them to earn a check, or you're out of work because the economy's gone to shit over there because of all the money's hemorrhaging out to these Islam extremists that don't get arrested for running around threatening journalists with a machete. They're not getting held accountable.
And it started with 3 girls got stabbed. What was it? They were
Little girls.
They were coming from a dance class, and 3 girls got stabbed by illegals, and that was the camel that broke the straw's back.
Like what?
Yeah, and now, but it's not working out that great for the British people. This uprising.
Now, do the cops? They have guns, right? Or do they not have guns?
No,
they don't have guns.
No, they just beat you with a club.
Oh, so the people can overrun them if they wanted to.
They don't have guns either.
So could the Muslims with their machetes.
It's not America. They don't have guns.
Well,
but I'm just saying,
problem
basically sticks and stones versus sticks and stones. So
yeah, but the problem over there is that the cops are siding with the illegals against the citizens,
like they are here, like they are everywhere.
Yeah.
So why would they
until
do
the citizens have enough, and then yes, you're absolutely right. When it becomes more than words, then.
yeah.
So essentially, what you're describing is an actual invasion. It just hasn't. It just hasn't
Been called that yet.
fizzled out yet.
Yeah.
Well, this is just the modern day version of invasion.
It's pretty bad over there right now. It's pretty bad. There's not too many safe areas left in Britain. London is gone. That's what we call insolvent, to where it's so bad it will not recover. It will not be a white nation. It's not going to ever be a white nation again. London is not white, and it will never be. It's lost.
What a shame.
And Britain doesn't want to end up like that, and they're fighting hard to make it so that, but they just keep coming. Boatloads of them, literally boatloads per day, all of them. Just
it almost makes you wonder why Texas would make Sharia law illegal.
Is that what Texas did? They did.
Yep.
From what I hear,
They did.
I don't know what I hear. Let me tell you what, if there's a guy at the bottom holding my ladder and I worked with him for the last 2 years and I'm on top of the ladder, I still don't trust him. There's always going to be that fuck, man. All he's got to do is step away. And so, it's kind of hard to live a life like that. But you kind of see things a sort of leg sweep kind of way. It's going to happen.
And they have infiltrators out there too.
I have a question. Smokey Randy says facts matter. That the person who committed those crimes wasn't a migrant, wasn't Muslim, that they were a white person. So the entirety of the United Kingdom went up in arms over a lie? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I think Smokey Randy is uninformed or incorrect.
I'm just wondering what that statement was about.
Some other event.
Oh, okay.
You can see it clear on the camera. They're literally pulling out hatchets or machetes and killing white people on camera. There's no disputing who the perpetrators of the violence are.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
But I thought there was camera footage of them leading both of those fronts together so that could kind of happen. It's almost like somebody could sit back and watch. Send the pawns to do
I
their
don't know.
bidding.
I don't know what the situation was with that Rwandan or whatever. So all I know is what I saw today was a bunch of Muslims beating up a white kid and then cutting his throat, and in Germany. And if that was fake, then I don't know what to do anymore.
No, there's way more than enough footage over there of these Islamic extreme.
No, it was all AI. I swear, it was cheap fakes.
Yeah.
No, that's in
Black
the
Raggedy
Kamala
Ann
Harris
said so.
rally. The cheap fakes are in the Kamala's
The cackles.
rally. I'm sorry, Paris, whatever. The Harris rally. You ever zoom in
Cackles.
on that photo?
So
Yeah.
Harris
No,
was
you know,
cankles and Hillary was cankles.
Dude, they look
if
like
they want to be
demons.
left alone
They
to
look like
live their
demons.
life, I think that's what it's going to take pretty much anywhere, is when you collectively come to realize that your government is helping them and not you. And it's not about taxes at that point. It's just an insult. It just adds to insult, and it forces you to understand that I have to row my own boat with my own kind, my people. And that's not being racist. That's being a British person in Britain. It's the same with it. I would hope that these guys would do it in their own country,
But
which
that's
they
the
do.
issue here is if everybody would see themselves as Americans, then we can be united. If everybody sees themselves as something else, then we're never going to be united.
Well, you could see yourself as whatever you want, but clearly you're not. When you're wielding a machete yelling death to America, you no longer identify as an American.
See,
Well, that part I agree with.
I
I'm talking about the rest of it.
totally agree with that. Yeah. I mean,
Yes,
if we're talking identity politics, yeah. I can no longer agree to what you're identifying with.
I identify as American.
I identify as yeah.
It would have been the greatest thing ever if every single illegal that crossed the border was truly and authentically in love with this country and wanted to be a part of its greatness. We would have zero problems right now. Zero.
Right.
All problems gone. But not
You know
a single fucking one of them
Because-
did that.
Because leftism causes herpes.
Yeah,
Is
but
that how that
That I
happened?
think we can all agree on.
I heard herpes doesn't go away.
Never.
It seems like neither does leftism.
Point taken.
Leftism is weakness that won't leave the body.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what I think
I'm not against proper immigration at all, and open it wide open as long as they are here to work with our culture, work within the confines of our norms. That's what they
That
want.
was the
That's
big
what they
problem that Europe
show,
had.
show us that's what you envied about this place.
See, Europe, they allowed unvetted immigration because of the European Union. And they never enforced assimilation. They never said, you come here, no problem, but you need to assimilate to our culture. And that's why now everything you see is based on religious segregation. Muslims, Christians and Jews, Jews and Palestinians, this, that, and the other thing. Everything is based on religious separation. And they're
We
trying
have
to
to
do
hold
that
on.
here.
We have
It's
to
the
hold
same
on
way
to
here.
that cultural identity, our national identity. Putin talks about that. We had, that's the same thing he focuses on. He focuses, even though Russia has so many subcultures, just like the United States have, different heritages, I guess.
Yeah.
they still maintain, even with that, they still maintain their national identity, their sense of togetherness. And the other thing I want to get in here real quick is Batcave, bro, you got to just jump in and
Yeah.
when you're ready to talk, bro, just jump in and take your spot. These
Just throw
guys
your
will
shit
roll,
down.
they'll roll right over you if you let them, especially that salty guy. He's such a dick.
Fucking guy right here.
Well, you know what I saw, you
never
guys.
shut the fuck up.
Look at him. Well, you know what I've seen with all this immigration stuff that's happened to all these countries. Most of these people that they're picking to pull into these countries are these Islamic Muslims, these types of people. Yeah, you get people from Venezuela and all this other kind of stuff. You know, they try to make it look like that. You know, it's not just these people, but it's for the most part these people. And why? I don't really know their end game, but I can kind of tell why. Because anywhere that these Muslims or extreme Muslims or whatnot, not all Muslims are bad. I'm just saying, but most of these people, these extremists that they pull into these countries like Afghanistan and a bunch of other countries, they go in, that country has its culture. And then once these people get a foot in there and they start, you know, expanding, then they change the whole plateau of what that country was about. And then next thing you know, they have veils and all their eyeballs.
And now you got and then you got a soup that tastes bad.
So
And then you're the bad guy when you go buy your own machete. All of a sudden, you're the bad guy.
Or you make your own.
You know, when you start exiling people via trebuchet, suddenly, oh my God, he's so terrible.
I just stabbed him in the neck 13 times. What
It's
up?
so terrible.
I'm just saying, pain.
And by the way,
is,
I am a big fan of trebuchet. Sorry, Spaz.
pain is an important part of the learning process.
amen.
It is, and you know, as much as I've seen it on video from across the world, you know, sometimes you get caught stealing. You're not good at stealing. Maybe you need to lose something, right? You know, a couple fingers or whatever. You know, just to, you know, that
In the
that lives
Philippines,
with
they tattle
you.
your ass right there in the road.
You've learned that lesson, or at least you think. You hope you did, and otherwise, you know, you might have to learn it again, which means
Beach bum and mermaid. That's me crackling. That was me. Sorry.
Yeah, in the Philippines, if you get caught stealing or spray painting on walls, they'll give you an ass whooping right there in the street in front of everybody. There's no jail. There's no prison. None of that stuff. They will beat you like a child. If you're gonna act like a child and take stuff like a child, they will spank you like a child right in the street. And I'm not against it. You know, when that kid got caught spray painting on the walls and everybody in the United States was up in arms, like, oh my God, they're gonna cane one of our kids. Oh, it's so awful. I was cheering. Whip his ass. Whip his ass. Make it pay-per-view. Let all of us watch. We'll send the money to a charity or something, help somebody out. I'll get the popcorn. Let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think pay-per-view can make quite a comeback along with a few speedy trials for politicians in this country.
Well, that's the problem. The more that we allow it to happen, the more radical solutions we give. And like Spaz is doing, it just keeps going round and round, and we never solve anything.
I got a question.
Yes?
What makes us believe the last 5 elections were legitimate, or 6, or any election ever since JFK was assassinated?
LSD, that could do it.
Oh, in the water, and then we just keep doing the repetition works, Davey. Repetition works.
No,
Davey.
you could do it. You
Repetition
could
works.
drop
Oh, yes,
stuff
I
out of an
believe.
airplane. You could like do 5G waves and stuff like that.
Or
You could put it in
something.
people's Trumpy bear. They'll
What if
just be when they cry, they'll inhale.
Look, dude, I've
you
heard
did
you
all
say
that.
that many, many, many times
What?
with the Trumpy bear thing. Okay, hold on a second.
Does he? Oh, he's got one. Oh
Okay.
no, he's got
Hold
one.
on a second. Not everybody has a Trumpy bear. Some of us have emotional support demons.
Oh,
Okay, so get off the Trumpy bear thing.
I think I need one.
Emotional support demons.
When I was in the hospital, Mrs. PTP got me an emotional support demon. And
Because he wouldn't text me.
yeah, well, I wasn't texting anybody. Let's put it that way.
And that hurt my feelings.
And when I had basically when I had these things sticking out of my arm that they had to give me infusions with, my emotional support demon would hold my arm up.
Oh, so he saw you through the tough times.
He saw me through a lot of tough times.
He took
Oh,
the pain.
I love my demon.
He took the pain.
That's right. So yeah, not everybody has a damn Trumpy bear. I take offense to that. But anyway,
You know,
I was
used to have
actually
a-
thinking about going to Home Depot, and you know how they sell the panels of privacy fence.
yeah,
Like, I wanted to get someone to get a picture of me holding one up and walking down the parking lot with it, just so I can say I take offense.
I take offense. And Smokey Randy, you're absolutely right. I still can't get a friggin' dog. She won't let me get a dog.
Yo, they'll be chewing them hoses, yo.
Oh, I know. But it's the dog that I want.
Well, look
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened to your pet raccoon.
It's
It
still out
ended
there.
it's ended up in bones in the backyard. You can't even take care of your coon right.
Grass is growing through with bones.
I know.
Yeah.
We got loads of them little suckers out here where I am.
Oh yeah.
You know, when the world comes to an end and everybody's falling apart, I'm going to be getting fat on raccoon, squirrel, rabbit, gator, hog.
Yep.
I mean,
Emotional
That's right.
support demon. Nice.
Yeah.
My emotional support demon.
I've been
It
stocking
does.
up on flour so I can have dumplings with everything.
It's a squashmallow, is what they call them. Very soft, very cuddly. You know,
Not like your wife.
no,
Yeah.
she's angry. She's very mean, a little rough around the edges. But yeah,
She needs to understand that when she gave it to you, she was giving you a piece of her.
that's exactly right.
And she needs to let it go because she gave it up.
That's what made it a demon instead of a bear.
Well,
Yeah. Yep. See, it's got little horns, and it's got a little pointy tail.
oh
So-
yeah, little Satan wings too, right?
Yeah, little wings.
Jeez.
And don't make fun of me for that either, because I'm a grown ass man with a squashmallow. Okay? Because I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a sticker all over pills tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're gonna make fun of you behind your back for sure.
Oh, I know. And I'm okay with that.
And
I'm
then
okay.
right in front of you too.
And then Beach Bum and Mermaid, please don't tell her anything. I can't deal with her as it is. She's dangerous.
Oh my god.
She needs to calm down.
Please don't do it. I beg you. Okay, I gotta go. Put him on a chair. All right. Next topic.
Since we're on stuffed animals, I used to have one.
So
It was
who's caught up on
my number
Ukraine?
one.
What is it?
Who's
My
caught up
number
on
one's-
Ukraine?
Wait, hold on a second, Rev. Spaz, what about your stuffed animal?
It was my number one stuffed animal of all time. It was a little donkey with a blue hat. And I used to hold it around its neck like this until the neck got really thin. And eventually its head came off, obviously. But for a very long time, I had that donkey.
Hmm.
Here comes a raid. from
$10 guess
Christian
you
Water.
guess the name of that donkey.
Oh, I don't know.
Can I
You
give you a
just
hint?
got raided.
What's the
What is that rated stuff? I don't know. I haven't been on.
Oh, you
this.
don't know?
It's a way of
Something out of-
sending all your guys to whatever channel you select.
Oh, okay.
When you end the
Drunk Pinata
stream, you
coming in.
can
with 69 people? Welcome to all you guys.
please hit the red pill, please. Thank
Hit
you.
the red pill, please.
Hit the red pill.
I don't know what was the name of your donkey.
It wasn't a name, it was a number.
A number. 69.
No.
What? What
There
is
was a
Seven?
prominent television show when I was carrying out this donkey around my. You don't remember? He had like a beard, lived in the woods. Man, I keep giving everything away. You know what? I'm not giving $10 away anymore.
I can't.
It was a television show. Look, see, because stuffed animals, they don't mean much to me in life, but the few that meant anything to me in life meant a lot to me in life. And I almost said his name. Come on, there was a TV show. Just guy lived in the mountains.
51.
Nope. He lived in the mountains and
12.
he was friends with a bear, right? You don't remember that show?
Oh,
I'm way too old.
Grizzly Adams.
Okay. So what was the name of my donkey?
11.
No.
7?
Number 7. That's right.
Huh.
Number 7. That was the name of my fucking donkey.
Number 7.
When I
used
was
to
a kid,
hold real tight around the neck.
That's what I said. USA Land Shark, 1 Adam 12. I said that. 12.
when I was a little kid, my stuffed animal was Curious George.
Did he have a tail or not a tail?
No tail.
No tail.
Wow.
I didn't have
But he
one.
went through hell.
Yeah.
See, where did I come from? I remember a tail.
No, he never had a tail.
I had a Gumby and Pokey.
I'm not surprised.
Well, Gumby and Pokey were made of the same clay. It was just a different color, right?
Yep. Yep.
They were rubber.
I don't
with-
think there's anything wrong with a grown person having a stuffed animal. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Because I've had like 3 of them.
Yeah.
That was enough for me.
I mean, my youngest daughter still, and she's going to be 22 this year, still has what they will call her a penelope, is what it is, and it was a little stuffed bear from Knott's Berry Farm that she got when she was a baby, and she keeps it all the time. My son has remember the lamb, the lady who used to put the lamb puppet, Sherry.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember her name, but he still has his
Lamb Chop.
lamb chop. Yep, lamb chop. He still has his little lamb chop puppet from when he was a baby, and they're grown adults now. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Or I'm just trying to justify me having a stuffed animal. I don't know how that works, but it's something like that. I'm a closet. No, I'm not. See, that's why I don't like to do stuff, because people make fun of me. Yeah, that's okay. Screw you. Smokey Randy.
Nobody made fun of you. Not anybody that matters anyway.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. But yeah, all of my kids had a special blanket or stuffed animal or something to that effect. That's just the way that the children are. And sometimes we grow up and we still are attached to stuff.
Yep.
Yep. Well, yeah, Beach Mama Mermaid, I would say you were a weird kid. You're a weird adult, but I would say a weird kid also. But I still love you, though. Okay, so what's the next thing that we're going to talk about?
There's a lot. I don't want to pick the next one.
Rev, you were talking about.
Yeah, has
Ukraine?
anybody been paying attention to what Ukraine's been doing?
Yeah, I talked about that this morning a little bit. But talk about it. Speak on it.
I was asking everybody else.
Oh,
Ukraine, since Trump came on the scene, and he spoke to both of them, Putin
True.
slowed down. He's like, okay, we'll wait till the election and see how this plays out. Well, in the interim, Zelensky starts sending missiles into Kursk.
Yeah, and they're flying F-15s out there.
Yeah,
So they got those.
and blowing up civilians.
And
Not even a military
Zelensky's
target there.
pulling a Greta Thunberg. How dare you not send us more money, Americans?
Oh, wait, you missed the other part. You have stolen my childhood.
oh my God.
Yeah, he's trying
Oh,
to
I said
shame
this morning-
us.
I said this morning that where did Ukraine get the money and the weapons to invade Kursk? Because according to Vladimir Zelensky, they were hurting. We don't have what we need. Blah 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 blah. Then all of a sudden, they're invading Russia.
yeah,
With them, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If you don't
We
think
sent
that's a plan, I don't know what to tell you.
we've sent them more money than our own damn military is worth, but they don't have enough.
First of all, they don't
The
have
whole
the people.
Ukraine thing was just for the sole purpose of poking the bear, and what any other perks that came along, but to upset Putin, to push him, to try and get him pushed close to over the edge. I think that was the goal here. There was obviously other perks, reasons, and benefits that came out of it, but I think the primary one was focused on pissing off Putin. And well, that now the alliances have been made. The teams are set. It's like watching a version of Survivor or two tribes against each other, all these different countries that are signing on. And recently, I forget who, but I think it was like Syria and Lebanon and Jordan said, no, we're not backing Israel on this one. We're out. And I'm like, I see. The picture's getting clearer.
I think the escalation in the Middle East and the escalation in Eastern Europe are not disassimilated with each other. I
Right.
think that they're both has to do with domestic
Yeah,
American
I
politics.
sense a little bit of a symbiotic relationship with
Very
those
symbiotic.
things there.
It has to do with American politics.
Yeah, and which pulls in Japan, Korea, and and it's just gonna get nasty.
Well, I mean, how long have we been talking about predicting this exact same thing?
Hey, I gave you a calendar date. I want you to call me up on that day, and I need that pat on the back for
Well, that's
accuracy.
tomorrow, isn't it?
The
Today's
12th.
the 8th. Oh, the 12th. You're right. The 12th.
But what do you got on the 12th, Salt?
Yeah, tell them about that.
Israel is going to have provoked Iran. Iran is going to attack back in retaliation on the 12th. And by the 13th, you will be convinced by your mainstream media that Israel is defending itself against Iran.
Yeah.
So does anybody think, for one, just something that just went through my head, does anybody think that, okay, Trump says if he gets in, he's going to stop a lot of this shit day one or whatever, right? Does anybody think that these guys are trying to start so much shit that he can't stop?
Yes.
That's what I was just.
I
The
don't
reason
doubt
being
that
is
he
because
can.
they
I
can
have no
say,
doubt he can stop it all, but at a cost.
why change now? Look at what we're involved in. What's he going to do? We're already, meaning the Democrats who are in charge. Why change presidents now? Just reelect the Democrats, let them deal with what's going on. That's how wartime politics works. I've been saying this for months. That's what they're going to do. But then this whole Biden catastrophe came in, And now they're saying the same thing with Kamala. So, yeah, they're trying to throw too many rocks and too many wars, too many fronts
Yeah.
that Trump is not going to be able to shut off one after the other. It's that's a good observation, Mr. Batcave, because I've been saying that for a while. So
Yeah, because
Well, maybe General Milley can put down the fingernail polish for a little while and then go out and head one of these up. You know?
no, she's not going to do anything.
She-
But I mean, because you got to think, there's the rumors of wars and all that kind of stuff. It's like China hasn't even done anything with Taiwan yet, but we know that's coming. It's like, is
They're
that
not
going
going
to
to
happen?
have to. They're not going to have to lift a finger on that one. We'll do it
No.
for them.
yeah, exactly, just like we did with Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And I hate to agree with Salty. I really do. I don't like to agree with him on friggin' anything, but he's absolutely right on that. We'll do Taiwan for China.
Yes.
Yeah. But they're not going to have to militarily invade anything. We're just going to hand it over to them.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's just another thing that they'll probably throw out there before. And if Trump gets back in there, if Taiwan goes in, or what else are they talking about? Like other wars or other countries going about it,
Well, you have Iran. You have Iraq.
Iraq was the
Pete,
Yeah.
don't hate agreeing with me too much, because me and you are starting to come to a head on how things are going to play out.
Well, that's true. That's true. But you know how it goes. Yeah, there's going to be Iraq. There's going to be problems with Iran. There's definitely going to be problems with Saudi Arabia. However you want to look at it, there's going to be problems with Saudi Arabia. They're putting way too much money into that desert to cause problems.
Yeah, don't. People like to discount Yemen. I highly urge them not to.
Well,
That
no, I
is-
wouldn't either. The United Arab Emirates, for all of their bombasticating and their beautiful cities and their this and their that, are pretty much the terrorist haven, if you like to call it that. So there's a lot of
well-owned.
a lot of factors involved there, Batcave, that can go off in just a second.
Yeah. Yep.
So
And it all leads
I
to
don't think so either.
population decrease.
Oh, absolutely.
I just, for this once, I really wish America would stay the hell out of this one. Say sorry, kiss a little ass, hand
Okay.
over some shekels, whatever you got to do. Stay the hell out, and then watch the rest of the world. Go make your deals, whatever. Bow out
That's
and
my-
watch the rest of the shit.
That's
Israel
my
won't
issue.
last a week.
Well, my issue with the whole border thing is I think we should expel everybody who's here illegally. We should lock down the border, and I mean lock it down for right now. No more new immigrants, no nothing. Lock it down. Let's take care of America first. Let's fix it and then talk about it. Screw the rest of the world. They got their problems. We got ours. Let's figure ourselves out. If it's just like when the airplane starts to lose cabin pressure. You have to put your oxygen mask on first before you're good for anybody else. We got to fix our doo-doo first. That's
But
how I see it.
every time that we've tried that, being a separatist nation, we wound up getting sucked into a world war
Yeah.
or a conflict
Only-
or whatever.
only by our own elected politicians. Only by that, not because we're being bad and they want to come take our shit.
Right.
It's because we're throwing rocks.
But if we deal with those politicians instead of worrying about the rest of the world, if we take care of that shit, then we can get ourselves right. That's kind of my view on it.
Yeah, we can't mind our own fucking business for a minute.
Yeah. It's back to the unity thing. We the people have to get unified,
We also have to
Little by
take
little.
responsibility.
and we need Spaz to lead it all.
You know, unfortunately, Smokey Randy, I can understand what you're saying about the Shia and the Sunni, but what you're missing is that they're both Muslims. And
So
once
Iran
Muslims come together, it doesn't matter.
a threat.
Can I finish what I'm saying before
No.
you cut me off?
Just this once.
Thank you. Once they start to take shape in the Middle East, it's just like Catholics and Christians. They're not going to be They're not going to differentiate between anything. A Muslim is a Muslim, and a Christian is a Christian. So, you take that for what it is. Okay, now you can speak.
I forgot what I was going to say. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, Iran's already promised that they're going to go after Israel's production sections. You know, the industrial area, stop them from producing whatever. I don't care, whether it's food or clothing or whatever. You know, stop them from. They're going to hit them in the They're going to hit them in the wallet really good, and they referred to it as a lesson well needed. We're going to teach you a well needed lesson for doing what you did to us, or whatever. Basically, is what Iran's telling Israel. And since they're not saying they're going to come over and wipe them all out, it doesn't seem like an idle threat to me.
Well, what industry can they take out?
I don't know. I'm not over there. I don't know, but they do. And so that's.
I don't know. I don't know either.
Hit him with a hammer. I think personally, we should round up all these politicians that love picking fights, and we should pick, like a section of desert somewhere, something like that, where there's nothing there. We should build a giant ass Thunderdome, put them all in there, give them each a hammer, and tell them, hey, last one standing wins, and then whoever wins comes out. We go ahead and hammer them too.
Yeah.
Give me your hammer. You and your hammers, man.
I'm just saying, you know what? I had a conversation with Matt Gaetz one day, and we were talking, and one of the things that I brought up to him, and he thought it was the funniest idea yet, is we need our representatives to be willing to go to the parking lot. Like, literally. And I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is close to that now too, but like, you want to talk? Oh, you got shit to talk? Oh, you got some personal insults? All right, I'm gonna be waiting for you in the parking lot. Like, no, we're gonna handle this the old-fashioned way right now.
I can
guarantee you, those thumbsuckers would shut up quick.
I can see her and AOC going at it. That'll be a fight.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that one.
She would tear AOC's ass off.
She
That
would.
chick is all mouth.
Yeah.
To me, that
drink in his face.
To me, that sounds like we're still on the fence of idiocracy or solving all this shit.
Right.
Either way.
Let's use
Defense.
fire. Rev likes his hammers.
He does.
A blowtorch. I want to.
I'm a big Pink Floyd fan.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Let me hammer him today. Good morning, Worm, Your Honor. The crown will plainly show the prisoner who
There you
now
go, Worm.
stands before you was caught red-handed showing feelings.
I put something in the chat for you, Rev.
Oh my God.
Is that enough hammers for you?
There you go. Hey, I had that one. That's from The Wall.
Yep, that's from Pink Floyd.
Yep.
The Wall is very interesting. That was a very interesting work of art.
Yes, it was. All right. What's the next one? We talked about
So
Ukraine.
I got one. Tim the Tampon Man Walls
And
drinking horse semen.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the story behind that.
Yeah, I was wondering if anybody else knew. What's the story? What's the history? Is it? I mean, there's so much other shit that's proving to be true. Is that true or not true?
I did see an article, but I skimmed through it, so I could only take as much as I could take. You know what I'm saying?
That's yeah. I don't know. I can't speak on it because I heard about it. It sounded stupid, and I just kind of passed it by. So I have no idea.
I wondered if it was some sort of, like fraternity, hazing or.
So
I don't know.
So
Does anybody know?
Rev is asking if he took the semen in a different way.
I don't know. I mean, the story's going around. Everybody's. I got people in my chats. Smokey Randy says horse semen is considered superfood.
It is.
I would
not here. But I don't drink Red
I
Bulls.
did see a video one time, but it wasn't that.
What the hell does that mean?
Could you imagine some dude sitting around a campfire going, "I seen what them horses did today. What do you think we'd take a cup of that
No.
and make some tea and see what happens? See how we feel in the morning."
I feel great.
That's nasty.
We're not going to talk about it to the ladies, right? Because
Really
they
nasty.
don't take it like we do.
Anime, go ahead and do something with that. I don't know. Put it up there or whatever.
like, look at that thing. Can I get some of that?
It's kind of thick, but it's okay.
It's a horse cock. You seen one on Tom Green's show, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Daddy, I'm jerking off horses. Right?
I'm green. Wow.
Yeah. You never
What the
thought it
hell
was
is going
art
on?
until, you seen them put fucking orange spray paint or goo or whatever on these priceless paintings, right? Art. Yeah. Well, let me tell you what. Tom Green was art. And he didn't have to shit on anything in the past. Just your ideas of it.
Look, Randy, I don't care what the hell horse semen has in it. Okay? You can't justify drinking horse semen. I don't care if it's all protein.
Superfood full of protein.
Well, the
Please
thing about
justify
it is like, if somebody would have told me that one of these politicians was accused of drinking horse semen, even 10 years ago, I'd have said, no, that's BS.
But now it's like, isn't that part of the application?
And then it makes me wonder what the hell is in Randy's refrigerator.
But here's the thing is that, like, we've seen so much crazy shit from the left. Like, look at all the weird shit that they're trying to normalize in front of us now. It's like, is that really that far out of the realm of possibility with these people? It's like, you have to ask the question. Like,
you have to.
Well,
Have you seen enough movies to not be surprised at what happens next?
Yeah,
Then
the
get
Germans,
beyond that.
the Germans in World War II used to take methamphetamines, right? That's who created meth, the Germans, so they can fight. So can't you see Antifa just chugging bottles of horse cum? We're going to fight them fascists.
Is that why
In a
stormtroopers
steel
can't
cup.
shoot straight?
I thought Antifa was gobbling each other's cum. I'm confused on that.
It's all protein, right? Right,
Like
Randy? It's all protein.
Like Mark
Fresh
Hamill on that island. He used to milk
Fresh-
those. What the fuck
Fresh
were they
from the
called?
butthole.
What the fuck?
Hey,
Whatever the fuck they were called. I don't know.
Pete, the last couple times you said, what's the next topic? I held my breath, but is anybody asking themselves why are they doing all this crazy stuff?
Because we ain't stopping.
I mean,
Yeah, because we're allowing it.
somebody should have in 2020 when they're like, yeah,
Color
Joe
revolution.
Biden's going to run for president. Okay, somebody should have noticed at that point, but we've moved so far along that we've got that one bald person thing or whatever that is in the administration that steals
Purses.
luggage and clothing or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to give him a little more credit, or it. But all this craziness, it's, you know, kind of Orwellian, you know, it's in your face,
Color revolution.
chaos. You're defeated. Nothing you can do about it. Ha ha in your face.
Yep. Color
And
revolution.
It's a demoralization tactic
Yep.
that is actually working quite well. Look at us. We don't have any faith in any aspect of our government for quite a while. No faith in it at all.
No.
And
Color
and what
revolution.
we used to prior to all this, we used to have some lingering hope anyway.
Right. But their
know,
goal,
like
their goal is to destroy all societal norms. This is the same thing that the CIA used to do to do a regime overthrow, you know, do regime changes in other countries, and it's called, the process is called color revolution,
Yeah.
and now it's been privatized, and we have NGOs using it against us.
And the migration with the multiculturalism, when you favor the immigrants over your own people,
That's
is
part of the
the
color
straw that
revolution.
is the big scoop of that one. It's a huge fu to the people.
Nice, warm, steamy scoop.
I think
Yeah.
Zombie 5, when we first started the podcast tonight, said, if you look at what's happening in Europe, that's exactly what they want for America.
Yes,
It's basically,
it's the plan.
that's the blueprint for what they
Yeah.
want here.
It absolutely is.
It is.
Oh, she was absolutely right. But she
Yeah,
said,
it's like it skipped from Venezuela right to London, now to you know, the UK, and it's just, you know,
yeah,
it's coming our way, and that's why I'm thinking it's very, very important to start getting to know your community and
Yeah.
talking about these things. About, hey, calm, you know, I don't know how do you introduce that topic. Normally, it's, hey,
I don't
nice
know.
weather, cute dog, or hey, a nice car. But it's not anymore like that. Now it's, hey, I'm not a tinfoil hat kind of guy, but, you know, should shit go wrong, I got food at my place. You ever need anything, hit me up, because you never know where this world's going. So, I mean, you can get by.
So you get it. You understand.
Strike up
right?
a conversation somehow with somebody that's local that you
They
can
have
pull
to.
to your ally, you know, make deals,
They-
whatever you got to do.
This is why I say unity is important, because they have to destabilize everything. And you know that word salad thing that Cackles likes to say all the time, that, you know,
Oh, yeah.
our future is unburdened by the past.
that's a
Or some-
Marxist terminology.
Right. That's a Marxist term.
So what's under attack?
Zhao Dung, what was it? Xi Zheodong, whatever the hell his name was.
Mao Zedong.
Yeah, who started communism. That was one of the things that he said.
Mhm.
And it's really, it's a mantra, and what they're saying is that they have to destroy everything that we are, everything that makes us the foundation of, you know, the American ideal, the American identity. They have to destroy all of that so they can take over and wipe that away,
Yep.
and apply and infect and infest their garbage ideas. The only way, and here's the thing is you can look this up. It's a statistical fact. The only way to overcome this is for the nation, for a large majority of the nation to stand unified against it. It's not even that we have to do anything or not do anything. All we have to do is stand strong as a people and not accept it. That's all we have to do. To break all of their propaganda, their mass formation psychosis, all of the garbage they're doing, all we have to do is have, and most of the statistics say that we really only need 15% to stand. But if we have 51% instead,
Yeah.
you know, we unify as a people and unify our voice, this doesn't work. It doesn't require us to have civil war. It doesn't require us to burn the nation to the ground or anything else, although that very well could be part of it, but it doesn't require it. All we have to do is get rid of our petty tribalisms. All of this, just like these people I'm dealing with in the courtroom, all these little shitheads that we got amongst us that want to cause division and find all these little stupid petty reasons to fight over their petty little childish ass egos. We need to kick those people out and say, no, we don't have time for you anymore. And the rest of us need to come together and say, no, we have something bigger to worry about.
Well, we have a great blueprint too, and I'm glad that they've picked the most well-armed nation as last.
Yeah.
Because now we have seen what has hopscotched around the world into these Western civilization countries and annihilated them, and use what they did and failed at as examples as to what not to do, and use what was most effective.
But
hey,
here's the thing.
Hey, Batcave, could you define a word for me?
Hey, real quick, Salty. The threat of that armament only works if we're unified together.
Yes, exactly. Batcave, DEI, what's it mean? Diversity is the first word.
Equity and inclusion.
Okay, what is the first? Take out the second word. And now what do you got? Diversity and inclusion?
Yep.
How are those two words not the polar opposite of each other?
Yeah.
Oh, Pete mentioned word salad. I had to throw it out there that these people are, we're Democrat socialists. Fuck off already, man.
One of the things that I used to love to make fun of was all the, like in high school, we had all the nonconformists, like the goth kids and all that. Mm-hmm. Well, you could be a nonconformist as long as you dress and talk exactly like me. That's what DEI is. We can be diverse as long as you dress and talk and act like me. That's how we're gonna get our diversity. We have to all act and talk and think like me, or you're not diverse.
What's next? You don't have to comply as long as you play within our rule set.
I don't know, something.
Yes,
Go ahead, Baz.
You know how I figured that out is
you figured it out.
Well, yeah, you got to break it down. One of them's telling the truth and one of them isn't.
Yeah, but which one?
Well, you'll have to decide for yourself.
You mean like be a free thinker?
Well, it just means that at every opportunity like this, you're going to have to decide differently based upon the information. And it's the least we could do. Not be subjugated, not to follow, always question. I wake up every day out of that bed, and the first thing I ask myself is, what kind of person am I? Sometimes I wake up and I go, I'm a sick person, and I should go back and lay down. but most of the time I need to get up and work, because sitting in the house is too boring for me.
It's going to be kind of tricky here. We're the melting pot. It's going to be real tricky. If we don't take the time to get to know people,
or read a dictionary, because we need a basis. We need a foundational basis of the language we're using, and that's one of the points that I was talking about. What's the difference? Rev said. Those who have read the dictionary and can read and decipher the definitions of the words that we're using, and those who can't. They make it up as they go. They believe whatever they want to believe.
Languages that we have. They're like, homie, don't play that. I'm not cool with that. That shit won't fly. There's so many ways you can say things. We're going to be able to intermingle here in this melting pot.
So how can we funnel that down to a generalization of understanding?
I don't think our method of communication is gonna be an issue. I don't know, man. Some of the places are a little too segregated to be like, hey, you want to join our team?
Well, it's kind of funny that we all grew up in this country, and we're all subject to the public education system. Now here we are at this point still questioning, right, the definitions of the words that we're using. And why is that? I think
because they keep changing The definitions.
changing the definitions.
especially lately.
Yes.
They make it up as they go.
Yes.
And I get it. That's a generational thing, and new books need to be written. But, facts should be transmitted effectively, and they're not. And to me, that's a fundamental breakdown of this nation. It's been going on for too long. The election part of that breakdown
Do you,
is what I think we've been going through for the last since JFK. Honestly,
you like how they changed lie
Yeah.
to misinformation / disinformation?
that's
They
panic
wanted
mode.
to branch it out and go, well,
Yeah,
and I'm like, lie and you mean lie and white lie?
and they,
That's Orwellian.
and they've got all kinds of things. It's like, in order for because you can't do it the way we used to. The way we used to combat some of the stuff is that we would have a leader, and a leader will basically get the people behind them to do certain things, and then they will eliminate the leader, cut the head off of the snake. Now because of the internet and whatnot, you don't necessarily need one person to incite, or I wouldn't even say the word incite, but to gather the troops, if you may, to do what is necessary to stop what's going on. So I think if they use the tools that are out there, like the internet, and there's TikTok, there's all kinds of things or whatever that they want to use or they can go off of to do what is needed, like what Rev was saying and Spaz, to put a stop to this stuff and just say, no, we're not going to do this shit, but it can't be just the one. It can't be one person. It has to be a multitude of people throughout all walks of life, all genres and whatever. We're all in one voice, but it can't be one person.
Right.
So how do we do that?
Well, I
I'm
would
so
use the
thankful
tools that
I'm-
we have now. The same tools that they use against us, we can use against them.
Repetition works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep saying it like it's the fucking truth, and
Unity
you
and
believe it.
community. Unity and
I'm-
community.
I've been trying.
Unity and community. Keep the
People
lights on
get
and the
blue
signal
pill
strong.
for it. Like,
Yeah. Well,
I'm a something, what are the I don't know none of the names for it. Like, I'm cisgender and I'm this and no, you're a faggot. I've been calling spades, but it's not very popular these days.
Yeah, like how crazy is people are out there saying that, I identify as a squirrel. Are you serious? Like, come on, man. Like,
I identify as a toaster.
toaster oven.
as long as there's somebody who comes up with a sign that says "Toasters Lives Matter," people are gonna believe that shit.
Hey, by the way, do you know how shocked I was when I found out that my toaster's not waterproof? Oh my god!
It's only as real as your reaction to it, and mine's always just as brash as I am on the air. No, you mean so you're a homo, you're a freak, or whatever.
Yeah.
I identify as it's not my problem.
Look, sometimes being a squirrel or a furry to me is a level of consciousness you're stuck on, right? And you're allowed to stick on it because you've been repetitionized to it, right? You haven't evolved past that. You weren't told that being a cat and shitting in a litter box is being a child, and you need to grow up past that.
I'd be like, good, come with me. I know a good taxidermist.
Look, I think of these things as levels, and there's many levels of consciousness. And sometimes I think in order for us to get to the next level, like a magnetic motor, it needs to get past the end gate. It needs to have sufficient force to get past the end gate and progress on, to go through another cycle. And I think the best way we could do that is if we use the same fucking words and we know the definitions as to what we're talking about, and that we stick together. And you know, I don't think law is the way to do that. I think morality, like Rev keeps preaching all the time. I think morality is the foundation of that,
It is.
which
It
is
absolutely is.
How
which
can
is
we maintain?
But it's not just
Morality
morality,
in this
it's an
country.
agreed upon morality.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
how
Pete.
can we maintain morality in this country when we keep importing people from places with low moral standards?
Well, that's
These,
what we
these
have to
people
fix.
coming into our country that basically didn't stand up for their own country, and now they're
Right.
taking those morals and bringing them here. So how
So
do we
we-
combat
we-
that?
We unite ourselves. We don't bend ourselves to their lack of morality. We unite ourselves around our agreed upon morality, our Christian morality, and we stand against that and do everything we can to act against that while maintaining our unity and our foundation of morality.
there.
That we begin amongst ourselves. This is how this works. With the unity comes identity. We develop a cultural identity as Americans based on a moral foundation set by Americans in the God that we believe in, and by attrition we keep pushing forward. We keep either winning by attrition and indoctrinating everybody else to our level of morality, or push them right off the damn edge of the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the best way to do it is what Trump was saying, that if he gets in and all that, he's going to close the border. He's going to have a mass deportation strategy, and then filter through it, and then try to reunite the country back to what it was, back to what our beliefs are and our founding fathers and all that good stuff. So, and then, yeah, I mean, obviously we're a country of immigrants and stuff like that. And then once all that stuff is settled out, then yeah, you could reopen the border and allow legal immigration back into the country, because those people back in the day, they came here to become Americans. They didn't come here to change America.
To join the cultural identity.
Exactly.
Hey, Batcave, without going into too much detail, because I think Pete's getting tired.
Okay.
Me and you have totally opposite points of view on what Trump's going to do on his second term. That term where you don't get a third. Correct. You don't have to try for a third, and you don't have to show any kind of hopes of becoming a third term president.
That's if you follow the rules.
As far as promises made, he did that. He doesn't have to do it this time. Just keep that in mind.
True. I mean, anybody that gets a second term, they can say anything that they want just to get in there. And then when they get in there, then they can do whatever they want almost.
I don't know. He's pretty highly focused on Israel, making sure that they're all comfy and snug.
I think Trump loves America first and foremost. What I think.
You know what I really think what he's going to do?
I hope you're right.
I think when he gets in, he is going to, if the cabal or whatever you guys want to call him, I think he's going to try to do what JFK and all these other presidents have tried to do and either failed or, got assassinated. I think he's going to actually try to do it. Now, will he succeed? Maybe partially. I don't know, but I think that's his plan. And I don't think he's going to actually completely put it out there, because if he did that, then yeah, he might end up like JFK or whatever. But I think that is the plan, or his plan, I would say.
So, Salty.
Yes, sir.
What do you think let me put it this way. What evidence do you have that you see that Trump is going to do everything for Israel and disregard everything else? because I watch the same. I look at the same news that you look at, and the same articles, and the same people that you look at.
I have a lot of it, and no matter how we slice up each of our informations, it does boil down to how you feel, what you believe in, and whether part of what you feel and believe is based on what you know to be true as documented fact, or a vibe that you get. You know, we're all going to end up at a certain place. You know how I've explained how I was here yesterday, I'm here today, I might be over here tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, Israel's just rolled out the red carpet for him, and he's for 25 years has been, you know, all on board with, you know, all things Israel, and, you know, he's gonna save the day. You know, and I'm like, you know, when he tells you that without qualification, unequivocally, without qualification, 100%, I'm going to stand with Israel, and we are going to decimate Hamas. And I might throw another word in there, Iran. That's right, Iran. And that is verbatim right there in one fell swoop, that speech.
Mm-hmm.
He tells them this. He knows we hear it, and everybody wants to discount it because he did such a great job at shining the flashlight on all the evils in the world for 4 years, while we enjoyed being high on the hog with all of our freedoms and all of, you know, low prices, unemployment at a rock bottom, you know. And so it's real hard to look at jumping the national debt up $7 trillion and killing damn near 1 billion people with the vaccine. So, and the lockdowns and who he didn't pardon versus who he did. So we don't really look at that because we've never really experienced such a glorious 4 years. Not in a long time. He really put the hammer to the nail when he gave us those 4 years.
Do you understand where that $7 trillion went to?
Well, I mean, go back in history, it all seems to go everywhere but to our pockets.
How about close to $2 trillion to rebuild the American military? Hold on. That Obama and Biden sequestered, which meant they put no money into the U.S. military, fighting a war for 8 years.
So Biden come along out of his basement and annihilated the $7 trillion worth of military we had with General Milley and his fingernail polish and the women parachutes. I mean, I just can't see that being seven.
He did leave all that stuff over there in Afghanistan.
Well, I mean, that was a hefty amount, and we know that was done intentionally and not accidentally. It's not like he just didn't remember where he put his tapioca pudding or something like that.
How much does bottom surgery cost?
But I mean, I don't know. It's just that everything that he has done that was good is now a faded memory, with the exception of Roe v. Wade, which was only a precedence. It was just once again, a norm, a feeling, you know, something to be expected. It was never a law, and it still isn't. It's just, I don't know. I've been looking into it for a long time, and we could go hours and hours and hours on this, but I see a perfect opportunity for our government to let us down in a time of need, to finish off the Trust the Plan, or Operation Trust, call it what you want, with 100-year separation on it. But
what do you think this country would have looked like if COVID never hit?
Oh, a lot better.
As far as what?
Well, if COVID never hit us or the world, if COVID never existed, if that didn't happen, how would this country look?
Yes, right now.
A lot, in every way, a lot better. That was the nail in the coffin. That brought the vaccine, the lockdown, the mask.
Under Donald Trump's presidency, if COVID wasn't an issue, this country right now would be thriving.
I since with Biden, I couldn't tell you if it'd be thriving or not, because we did have to suffer through that, and we don't know how much more damage he would have done if depending upon if we were shitting in some pretty tall cotton, he may have had to do a lot more damage than what he did to bring us.
No. You're missing my point. What I'm saying is, under Donald Trump's presidency, the country was doing well. Correct?
For those 4 years, yeah.
Okay. So
For
if COVID
two or three of
didn't
them, yeah.
hit when it did, that would be meaning that Donald Trump's presidency was doing extremely well.
Yeah.
Okay. So any of the decisions that he made were to benefit the country, correct?
I'm not gonna agree on the decision. Warp speed, I think, was.
I'm not talking about COVID. COVID never happened.
Oh, okay.
The direction that the Trump administration was going was the correct one, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So because of COVID, everything that Donald Trump did, from the time he walked down the escalator till the time of the 2020 election, has been negated. Because
let me ask you something on that. What did Donald Trump do that any standard red-blooded blue collar American couldn't think up and want done also?
It's not what he couldn't or what you just said, is that the fact that he did it. Do you know how many presidents have said that they were going to move the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem? Every single one of them, from Nixon forward.
Yeah, no, he did impressive things, and
Barack Obama, one of his campaign promises was, I'm going to move the embassy from Jerusalem or Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, none of them did. No,
but
you're right.
Donald Trump did it.
I'll never dispute the fact that he gave us the years that we'll never get back, the best of them. He did, and
he did.
He showed us a lot of things that we needed to know moving forward about who we're working against, who's the enemy. So I'm giving him full credit for that, but that's not the end of the chapter for Donald Trump.
Well,
I'm just saying right now, he no longer, after he gets up there, he doesn't have to impress anybody any further. And we feel differently on how he's going to act. I think he's going to act in behalf of Israel long before he acts on behalf of America. I think we're going to get some victory laps. We will get some taste teasers or whatnot, and some victory laps and some things that are obviously needed and easy to do. We'll get those things. But there's a lot of things we're not going to get because he just simply doesn't have to do it. Or he could claim he's been fought on it and he can't get it ran through, and it's going to get EO'd and off to the next guy kicking the can down the road, punching holes in everything that he did. So I don't, we can't tell from here. I envy the hope, and I'm not trying to be such a downer, a black pillar, but there's too much writing on the wall for me to ignore where his heart is.
I don't know. For me, I think that Trump is going to, I'm going to go back a little bit to his capitulation tour when he had Russia. I think Israel was part of that. Saudi Arabia, all these other countries. I think that tour was, basically what's happening now, where all these players are playing a certain role. Because in order to defeat or get rid of the cabal, the Democrats, that machine, whatever you want to call it, you would have to go to war, because you're not just dealing with a party, you're dealing with parts of the world where these people are at, and that type of thinking. So I think what Trump was the main guy to get it started, in my opinion, where he had to go through these other countries to get all these people on the same page, or to tell others like the Vatican is like, hey, you know, here's some shit I got on you. You ain't gonna do shit, you know, whatever it was. Okay. But I think that was like what Russia is doing to Ukraine, because Ukraine is the laundering country of the world for the Democrats and you know, that type of thinking, the cabal or whatever. And then you've got these other countries that are involved in certain aspects and doing certain things. I believe, my opinion, that this is part of the plan. And once he gets back in, he will be the end all for this shit. That's how I see it. I think that he's going to end it.
Can I respond to Just Josie in the chat?
Sure.
Don't start no shit with Just Josie.
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Is she says based on what? And I was going to start with, this is neither where you're at right now, where you can hear my voice. This is not either the platform or the crowd in which I can appeal to that would like anything that I would have to say to answer the based on what thing, because it is to be easily thrown out because of feelings, hope, a certain level of, and I don't mean this insultingly, indoctrination. I've been at this for a while. I have my proof. I run my shows lately, one or two a day. So if you want to come to my show and, you know, not sling tomatoes at me and just listen and open your ears and eyes and take it all in, or pretend to believe it so that you can get a feel for it, you're welcome to do that. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole on this one, because it is definitely divisive and I don't want to be that.
Okay. I understand that, and I appreciate that. I do. Just saying that, and I don't know if you've heard me say this, but I've been trying to learn how to weave my way in and out of the matrix to find out what's real and what's fabricated.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have to make that separation. And I use the word the matrix because basically that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
We're dealing with the separation of reality and fiction.
Well, you still have some time, and it requires it's not easy. I was right there with you guys. I really was. And I'm not a bad guy. You know, I have a lot of love in my heart for all people. And I didn't get this way because it was, you know, like I want to play devil's advocate or some kind of stupid personality addiction. It came from stuff that I saw. And you're not going to see it in a vacuum / echo chamber, like especially Gab and Truth Social. They are really, really profound at being echo chamber.
I don't use either one of them.
And I'm, you know, I'm not going to exclude Pilled either. It is definitely a red pill platform. Okay. There's a lot of people here that are doing a lot of good things for people. You've got religious channels, you got chill music channels, you got Just the Facts, here's the latest news, and you know, panels like this. So I'm not kicking it because of that, and it's really hard for me to appeal to certain people because most of them have a hard time, you know, when told, hey, come out of the cave, you won't die, you can actually breathe out here, and do that. You know, it would be nice if people did that for a time.
And hold on a second.
Not over yet. He ain't in office yet. You still have time to be, you know, open to information and then weigh it out instead of debate it for a cut point.
Didn't I encourage you? Didn't I encourage you to stay on this platform, Unpilled, and do your show and do
And
your
I-
opinion.
Because of that, I chose to stay. Yeah. And I'm
Right.
still at it.
So to say that people in my audience are way different than people in your audience is just,
It's a generalization. I
it's a
can't
huge generalization.
I've got some people in your like Latanya Keel right now. She's, she would side with me on pretty much most of this stuff.
And that's
And,
fine. And I have no
and-
problem with that.
Angry Mary wouldn't. So I know the people out there, and I'm just saying that it's probably not the greatest thing for me to start showing all my proofs from, because people are going to get pissed and start, yeah, that's fake, that's CGI, or that's AI, and I don't want to present that as a friendly show panel. It's just
Yeah,
not.
well, maybe one day we'll have to do a show just on that, because
Just
you send me a lot of links to shows and things that I watch that I just don't agree with.
That's fine,
Right? I just
That's
don't
fine.
agree with. And we've
But-
had discussions on it
but you look
on
at
the
it.
air. So it's just
Yeah.
some things that I don't agree with. There's going to be things that you don't agree with, and that the Batcave doesn't agree with. And of course, Reverend Rant don't agree with nothing. So we have
No, you're all
all
wrong.
this stuff.
Except for Spaz. Spaz is a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend. He doesn't have to agree with anything. So, and I think that it's very cohesive for everybody to have different opinions on stuff
As long
like
as
that,
you think like me.
as long as you think like me, because I'm the host of the show. But that's not even true. I'm not a big super duper, it's either Trump or nothing person. I call balls and strikes. If Trump does something good, I'm going to call it out. If he does something bad, I'm going to call it out.
Well,
It's as simple as that.
I'm trying to appeal here to Just Josie, because there's no bad people on this platform. 1 second, Spaz. My stance isn't against or pro either. I'm not a Biden supporter. I'm not a Democrat, but I'm also not a Republican. And I also plan to never, ever vote again. I think it eats away at my soul if I do, because all promises and always the same thing goes, and I don't want to consent to that. And I think I would have my time better served focusing on my local family, community, and out there enjoying what's left of this world, before if it's going to go to shit, then I'd like to get my time in on not breathing it in all day long.
Okay, I can understand that. So, with that being the last word, we're going to wrap this show up for tonight, because I can't talk anymore and my throat hurts. So,
You did good. This was a nice one today.
yeah, I enjoyed this.
Spoke a little more.
And I think, not for nothing, but Batcave over there has to get if you're going to come on this show, you got to jump your ass in here and start talking.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was saying, man.
Yeah.
These guys will steamroll if you don't drop the elbow.
I'm good. I think it went well, and
Yeah.
thanks
Yeah,
for
yeah.
having me on, Pete. I appreciate it. And
Not a
Do it
problem.
more. Do
Well,
it more.
How we
Definitely
end
do it
this
more.
show? How we end this show is we go around the horn there, and to let you guys promote yourself to what's you're doing during the week. So whoever wants to
Hey,
start off and go first.
Hey, real
Go ahead.
quick, since we're over time, I'm gonna bounce. You guys know where to find me. You know how to find me. I'm gonna be live again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Alligator Time in my usual places. Jump in, support me,
Absolutely.
argue with me, however you want to do it. I'll see you guys there. Love you guys. Batcave, glad to see you, man.
Yep.
Come back and
Thank
do it
you.
again. Everybody in the
Please.
chats, love you. And we'll see you guys later.
All right.
By the way,
Hmm.
brush your teeth and take a minute and say hi to Jesus. It's important. I'll see you guys.
Absolutely.
All right, Rev.
Okay. Spaz is drinking. So, Mr. Batcave, where can we find you during the week? What's your schedule?
Well, my schedule is kind of funky, but most of the time it's either Monday through Friday if I could do it, or Mondays, or well, it just depends. Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, or Fridays, whatnot. The Batcave on Pilled. I am also on Kick, YouTube. I only stream on YouTube. I don't do anything else on there because I don't want to get booted out. Kick, and then X once I do the upgrade or whatnot. So normally around 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time is when I normally try to stream. Me and Salty, I think we're kind of in the same time zone. You might be what, an hour ahead of me? Are you Mountain Salt?
Pacific.
Yep. Cool. So that's me, the Batcave. I'm the host, Donnie, and like I said, thanks PTP for having me on. Spaz, man, it's always a pleasure, brother.
Thanks for being here, sir.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep. And Salt, I'll catch you next time we talk, brother, or you on my show, or I'm on your show.
One of those.
All
We'll
right.
have you back on.
Thanks for showing up tonight. He started his show out, and he was like 10 minutes into it, and I'm like, hey, and I thought, well, I hope Pete don't nail me for this one, but do you want to come on
there.
PTP show tonight? Because I heard Warrior in the Garden was not going to be here, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, Batcave will be a great fit for that panel. So I hope you don't mind, Pete. That was
fine by me.
That was cool.
Yeah, and I'd like to have you back.
Sure, anytime.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right, brother, make it easy.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you later.
And
See ya.
later.
Mr.
As
Salty
far as-
Nuts.
Yeah, I'm trying. People are like, when are you gonna? What time do you stream? And I'm like, I don't know. I just go live whenever I get something. So
That's
I've
what's
never-
best.
I've never scheduled one. I've never hit that little calendar thingy and scheduled them. I just kind of throw them out there, and it's
I do
worked so
Mondays.
far. And
He does.
every now and then, though, I get some really juicy stuff that's going to push on to like a 9-hour show, and all scheduled. I mean, a lot of content, and people like it. They like watching these other things that I put out there. It's educational. It makes people
Tunguska
think.
explosion.
Yeah.
Say again, Spaz.
I'm sorry. I just referenced you to the Tunguska explosion in Russia.
It just happens.
Oh, okay. It happened.
And it just
Yeah,
pushes
no,
over
I-
everything. And
Yeah, I just throw it out there.
nobody knows what happened. It's just wow.
It's just there.
Devastation.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Take
thanks
it
for
easy.
putting up with me, and you guys have a good night.
Yep. We'll talk to you later.
Good night, sir.
Good night. And of course, it comes down to one of my, probably my favorite person in the world, Mr. Spaz, the man, the myth, the legend.
You know, we could talk a lot more as long as you stop sending me these TikTok links because,
No, some of
I
those
can't
pretty
open them. And then the Instagram links, I'm like, what? Should I even open this? And
Oh yeah. I won't send you anything bad.
It's always pleasant. Some kind of metal and skulls. And
Yep.
everything.
Some
Yeah,
good stuff.
always.
So mandatory Metal Monday for Spaz
Because I need it.
because he needs it.
Yeah, I do.
That's why I send him the metal stuff.
And all the blue pills too.
Yes, and he needs the blue pills. And of course, every Monday, I will be sending my entire crew over to your show to blue pill you. So just so you know, I did it last Monday. I send them over there. So
The most I ever got was 45. 45 blue pills in one stream.
that's pretty good.
It was glorious.
Yeah, that was glorious. And then the rest of the week, we don't find Spaz. He finds
you.
us. Exactly. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
I hope you're doing really well. I know
Thank you.
your wife hasn't called me in like 3 weeks, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
she's,
You know, I don't want to be bothersome or anything. I'm just,
No, actually,
I do
when we went to
care.
the doctor on Wednesday when we were driving yesterday, she mentioned that she needed to call you. She goes, I have to make time to call Spaz because I haven't called him in a couple of weeks.
Look,
I'm like,
when
do what
she
you can.
thinks about it, I get like a tingle in the back. And
No,
I'm
but
like, why didn't she call me?
I can be perfectly honest and says that she does say that she has to do it, but she just needs the time to sit down and do it. She's an incredibly busy person, but I will make sure I remind her.
Well, as always, sir, I envy
Yes.
you, and I hold precious every moment I get to spend with you. In
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
And I will see you on Tuesday for That's a Great Question.
Or sooner, who knows? You
Or
might get
sooner. We don't
you
know.
might get a horny rabbit jumping your leg sometime this weekend. You never know.
We'll never know. We'll
Anyway.
figure it out. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Good night, sir.
See
I
you
love
later.
you.
All right, guys. Everybody over on Reverend Ranch channels. Appreciate all you guys being here. And my YouTube is up. So everybody on my YouTube, DLive, and X. And of course, everybody on Pilled. Thank you for all the gold pills, red pills, blue pills. And I will see everybody tomorrow, 11 o'clock, avocado time, left coast time. So until then, everybody have a fantastic Thursday night. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.